Subscribe to see what's next. It's Clip City Connect.
YouTube, what is the deal? I'm back. I want to welcome you guys again to another episode of Clutch City Connect. And on this episode right here, I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to give y'all something that's a little bit more fresh, a little bit more cut, like cutting some fresh tomatoes. You're going to throw it in that salad and make you a really good salad. I got a very special guest lined up for you guys today. And just like a tradition I kind of do, y'all know how I do it. My main man, you got the floor.
Man, I appreciate it. Coach Griffin, the head boys basketball coach at Texas City High School. And I am blessed and I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity today.
Well, it's definitely a blessing that you chose to come on, because you could have been anywhere else. You could have said no, but you chose to say yes. So that is the biggest blessing. And like I say, from me, Let's City Connect, want to thank you so much for coming on, my man.
Yes, sir.
You ready to get the ball rolling?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's get it. So, I want to get into the first topic of the interview, right? So let's talk about last season and the program outlook, right? So my first question for you is, looking back at last season, right? What were the biggest takeaways for the Stingarees?
The biggest takeaway last year was to get back to the winning culture. I was able to inherit a program under Coach Mason and the guys before him that average wins. You walk into the office now, there's trophies everywhere, and so I was appreciative of that. And so, in high school, public schools, you have a cycle of bad talent, or not bad talent, but not as good talent as it was, right? And so I think I caught that cycle right here with me and the guy the year before me, to where it didn't equate. We're in a tough district. And so our goal last year was number one to win the more games than they did the year before, but then also was just change the culture, making a winning culture. Losing is contagious, but so is winning. And so to just get back to that winning culture, and I think we competed and tried to do that as best we could.
Sometimes, I have a thing that I say, sometimes you do the best you can do, and that's all you can do,
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
when you take that into consideration of the season, sometimes you get dealt a bad hand, but you get some good things that come from the season, man. Like especially when you got the younger kids that's on there, they get to learn how to play varsity, they get to grow from that experience. So when you get them the following season, they kind of know what to expect. And they can elevate their game, so that way when it comes to next season, it's go time. Ain't no more pressure or I'm on varsity, like I'm as a freshman or a sophomore or underclassman. It's time to get the ball rolling.
Indeed.
So my next question for you: so what areas of the team improved the most, and what still needs work heading into this following season?
So the biggest area is that we improved on throughout the season was our defensive intensity. I heard a coach say, Coach Terry, when he was at UT, he said, you got to have the juice. And so I've always believed that as a basketball, if you've seen Juice with Tupac, oh man, now you got the juice. That's me. I got the juice. And so I tried to instill in them as much as I could, working hard on that side of the basketball, because if you can stop somebody and make a couple layups, you got an opportunity to win. So as we continued on throughout the season, we got better and better and better at just stopping people, and that's going to be something that we continue on with. The part that we need to continue on is just our offensive efficiency. And I think that had to do with just the crop of boys we had at the particular time. You mix that with the youth that we have now, and I think it's just it just needed to continue to improve. So, definitely our defensive end, we got better and better and better, and the track record showed as we went on throughout the season. And what the biggest area that we need to continue to improve on is our offensive efficiency.
Love it, love it, love it. And I'll say, man, I'm when it comes to defense, I'm a stickler for that when I'm coaching these kids, man, because you gotta understand, man, you gotta stop the ball. And a
Yes.
lot of times we can't play zone. We're not gonna be able to just protect the space. I need players that's gonna go out there and go guard their man and make shots tough. I understand that some kids are offensively gifted. Hey, if
Yeah.
they can get buckets and they're gonna get 30 points, well, guess what? We're gonna make them earn those 30 points, you know.
Yes.
We're gonna make them work hard to get there. And by point 10, it's gonna be, man, like I'm sick of this kid. I'm sick of the way they playing defense on me. Like, yeah,
Yes.
we gonna make you work, you know.
Yes.
When it comes to
Yes.
offensive efficiency, you know, it's a thing, man. Like I kind of take it as far as kids just working on their game, like especially in the off season, working on your game, getting shots up. And that's one thing that I tell these kids, you know, especially AAU, you know, take the ball, take the basket, take the game. That's one thing I'm about, you know. So
Yes. Yeah. So, and one thing we do at Texas City is we're going to practice fundamentals. So, I look at basketball like a math problem. You got to learn to add and subtract before you can multiply and divide. And so I can't fill all the holes in one season. That was never the goal. Rome wasn't built in a day. And so with that being said, we just take small fundamentals. I try to teach you how to score. I teach you how to pass. I teach you where to go, where to be, building that chemistry up and up and up through fundamentals. I've been doing that for about 23 years, and I've had success with it in the past, and I think we're going to continue to move in the right direction here at Texas City too.
I definitely believe so. You want to know something? I want to tell you this, man. What caught me was last year, right? You took over the program, and I was watching the Instagram, and I seen Tommy Mason Griffin working with the kids. Man, I'm like, do they even know who that is? That's a Houston legend. I mean, when I was coming up, I think I was just getting to high school. I think he was going to the senior year. Man, he was a stud. Especially on those Houston Hoops teams, he was amazing.
Yeah, so Tommy is a good friend of my former assistant coach, Coach Smith at Worthing High School. They're thick as thieves. They both came up in the Clark area, and when I took over the job, I knew I needed that shock and awe. Nobody know me. I'm from North Louisiana,
Right.
so I knew I needed that shock and awe. So the first thing I did was call Who for Life and say, "Look, I'm gonna call Tommy, and we need to set a session up to where we can make some noise, get it back rocking down here in TC." And of course, he took on a challenge. He's one of those guys. He still works like a pro. Like he gonna come down at 5:30. That was in the morning when we shot that. Like he don't play about that evening stuff. He want to see if you really gonna do it. And I made the boys the day before Google who he was because I knew they didn't know who he was too. But even in Louisiana, I watched him play at OU. He was definitely a special talent, but he knows the game. He knows the game, and just that small stuff. What I was saying about offensive efficiency, he knows how to teach the spots, where to get your shot off, when to get your shot off. I like him because he teaches old school. He's an old school style. Get downhill. You know what I'm saying? Get downhill, change speeds, make power move, counter move. And that's the kind of guy he is when he's training. So yeah, that was definitely a blessing to get to know him and get him to have calm down. We actually gonna try to work some things out within the next couple of weeks to get him down a couple more times before we get into official practice this year.
I might have to catch that practice.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
But man, it's definitely moving in the right direction, man. So
Appreciate
I
that.
kind of want to segue into the next topic. I want to talk about the upcoming season preview, right? I know a lot of people trying to figure out what's going on in Tech City, right? So my next question for you: what should Tech City fans expect from the Stingarees this upcoming season?
We don't fold. Our phrase this year is "we don't fold," and I try to choose a phrase every year. And the reason why I chose that phrase is because of toughness. We are in a tough district.
Yes,
Friendswood is tough. Our colony is tough. That Galveston ball game is just going to be tough just because,
rivalry.
Laporte. And then you add South Houston, who has a guard that averages like 25 at 6'2". Another guard, another tough guard that's in our district, right? So, we won't fold. And that's going to be the biggest thing from the Stingarees. What you're going to see when you walk in that gym is from the warm-up. Forget when the ball go up. From the warm-up, it's going to be a party. You're going to have a problem coming there trying to beat us in basketball, because we just gonna be so tough, to where, I call them my pups. Well, my pups is, I have to sick them on you. And that's what it's gonna be, man. We're gonna dive on the floor. We're gonna limit you to one shot. We're gonna try to get our offensive efficiency going, and you're just gonna be in a dogfight for 4 quarters, man. We're a year away. I think we are a year ahead of getting back to that old Coach Mason style winning. But my pups is they're improving every day. And I think this year we're gonna just shock you. Like, oh, okay, I didn't know. I didn't know, but that's all right. We're gonna shock you. We should be very entertaining this year. But then that third year we're gonna be a problem.
I'm counting on it. I kept track last year, man, just keeping up with Tyler and Ronald, man. But it was like I say, it was one of those things, man. You take it over, and it's right here, but the potential is right
Yes, sir.
here, So
Yes, sir.
you take it in stride, and
Yes, sir.
I liked how you've handled it. So I kind of want to piggyback off that word that you said, right? Toughness, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of go into my next question for you. So, how would you describe the identity or style of play you want this team to have?
High energy. You know, um, quick snippet of myself. You know, growing up without a dad, single parent home, getting it out the slum. From Los Angeles to Louisiana, wherever I was, I just had to make it happen. But I had one thing though that was consistent in my life through that time and through this time, is this that orange basketball.
For
And
sure.
so I protect that orange basketball because that's my therapy. When I step inside those lines, it's up. I don't care what's going on between first period and fourth period. When that 10:36 a.m. bell ring, oh, it's a party, baby. I'm in the hallway. I'm clapping my hands. I'm high fiving the football boys as they go to athletics. I'm high fiving my boys as they come in the gym, and it's about to be a party. And my boys know that you have to have that high energy to play for me. And so I piggyback off what I said earlier. I got the juice. And I try to make sure I bring it every day, that passion every day, no matter what's going on in the rest of my life. For those 50 minutes right there and that hour and 30 after school, yes, sir. It's going to be high energy. You'll see the intensity. You'll see the dog in them. And it's unfortunate with Ronald. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to Tyler. My guy, I'm proud of my seniors. I was just bragging on them earlier today. All of them are doing something, all 9 of them, and I'm very proud of that. But with that being said, we just didn't have the talent that this groups have. So now, not only will you see that dog, but now you're gonna see a little talent push with it too. That's gonna make it a little scary.
Hey, woo!
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's gonna be a haunted house in Texas City. That's coming from Coach Griffin, baby. Hey, if you step in the Texas City gym, expect a haunted house.
Yes, sir.
It ain't nothing easy, and I
No,
love
sir.
it. I
No,
love it, love it, love it, Coach. I absolutely love it. So let's get into our next topic, right? I want to talk about the players to look out for, right? So my next question for you: which players should fans keep an eye on this season, and why?
great question. So, um, first, Lloyd Pete. Lloyd Pete has been a part of the program for 4 years now. He is my only senior. He is my only senior in the program this year, and I'm very very proud of Lloyd because Lloyd has been patient. Lloyd came up in an era where he caught the losing at the wrong time. But a small kid, slender kid, Texas City through and through. But that can shoot the pill. He can score it in chunks, man. Once that one go in, you might as well make the next 3 or 4 go in. I'm so excited for Lloyd this year. 3.5 student, a man of God, has also decided to play football this year. And looking at him in the spring to when we went to TABC and just that toughness that football gave with him in that small span, I'm very excited for Lloyd this year and let him be under me our first college signee in basketball this year. Next, got to be Brendan McKenzie, or as most people know, Lil B. As a lot of people don't, a lot of people know, he had his brother probably was one of the best players to ever come through there, best
Yes.
scorers to ever come through there. His brother is actually the reason why I was even interested in the Texas City job. I was scouting Texas City. when I was at Northside High School with the Sheldons, and we were going to play them in the second round, but they lost to Goose Creek. And I walked in the gym, man, and this little kid was shooting it from the half court. I said, "Oh my God," you know. And then when I got ready to interview for the job, I tell the same story, and they told me he got a little brother that can shoot it just as good. I said, "Nah, you lying? Ain't no way." So I'm really excited for Brendan McKenzie. He's been hurt for 2 years in a row, man. You know, and his freshman year he was killing and got hurt. His sophomore year he was working his butt off and just had a freak injury in the gym, broke his leg, non-contact. It was real bad, man. And so I am rooting for him. I am rooting for him, just on and off the court, just for his mental, because I know he loves basketball just as much as I do. So I'm very excited to see what Brendan does this year, or Lil B does this year. And then my little pups, man, I got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
I got about 12, 10 graders that I don't even know who all gonna be on varsity yet. But shout out to Romeo Harrison,
For sure.
Javon West, Corey Dent, Grant Rowland, White Chocolate, as we're starting to call him, Jaden Yancey, Twin. Shoot, I know I'm missing a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we just my young pups. They just going to the 10th grade, but everybody better watch out. Quick story, if I may. They were doing a back to Sting day about 2 weeks ago, and one of the faculty from the junior high stopped me. He said, "Coach Griffin, you gonna do anything like this?" I said, "Nah, it's kind of a football thing. We probably won't get as much of a crowd." He said, "Oh, okay. I have to check just so I can come put it on some of your boys." I said, "Hold on now." I said, "Hey, don't make me call my pups now." I said, "Open gym every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
My little goons are ready to go to work right now. They don't back down from anything." And I'm sorry, Brayson Burns. Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman, as we call him, man.
Uh-huh.
Dennis Rodman. But just it's that my little pups, with Brennan and Lloyd, we're gonna be scary, man. We really are. I'm excited for the. I'm sorry, Braden Ziegler. Just
Oh,
came in
dang.
from Hiscock. Yeah, he just came in from Hiscock, man. Shout out to him as well. And then there's a couple other guys that are in that same class that are walking past me that I don't even know yet, but I'm looking up to. Coach, I'm coming to play basketball. Coach, I'm coming to play basketball. So, man, I'm excited for the makeup of our team this year, man. Watch out for those guys. Watch out for the names that I named. Because it's gonna be scary times once we can put it all together.
Man, let me tell you, I got a couple scouts out there that are asking me because I'm plugged in with G County. Like, man, what schools? I'm like, shoot, one school you need to go check out is Tech City High School. They got
Yes, sir.
some brewing over there, and I think if you not on the wave, you're gonna regret not being on the wave. So
I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Man, no problem. I like what you're doing over there, and the fruits of your labor is gonna come through, man. It's gonna shine for you. Trust me, and believe me, man. Like, as a believer in Christ and man of God, it's just when you pray to Him and you ask for these things, it happens.
Yes, sir.
And so
Yes, sir.
I'm right there with you, brother. I see what you're doing. Like I said, and I'm gonna keep telling you that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So my next question for you: are there any young guys or role players who could take a big step forward and surprise people? I know you just named some names, but
I'll get in depth.
Some more.
Yes, sir. I'll get in depth. Number one is Romeo Harrison. When you look at him, people see that he's a highlight reel. If those who hadn't seen him play, go to his Instagram and y'all definitely check his highlights out. Everywhere we go, people asking me, who is this kid? But what they don't see is his grind. I pulled up to the gym this morning and I got there about 6:45, and him and Lil B was already in the gym getting up shots. He's working on getting to a certain spot, getting to his pull up. He always asking me questions. We always breaking down film, and I break down film with my point guards because that's what I played. We always breaking down film all the time, any spare time when we can. I'm sending them clips all the time. He's sending me clips all the time, asking me, "Coach, what about this? Coach, what about that?" So number one, Romeo Harrison. Secondly, Javon West. Now all of these are 10th graders, by the way. Second, Javon West. Javon is probably 9% body fat. As a 10th grader, man, he looks like a grown man. He looks like a grown man. I am very excited for the direction he's headed in, the left-handed bandit, because you know he's taking on that leadership role more and more, being that vocal leader that we need on the team. And if I just had to round out just the top three, Corey Dent. Corey Dent, man. Corey Dent is about 6'3.5" now. I gotta look up to him. You know, when he walking through the hallway, you know I jack him up. But Corey Corey Dent, man, he's my crazy man. You gotta have a utility guy on your team, and he's that.
Yes.
He go get every rebound at 6'3". He's gonna finish every bucket that he needs to, and his IQ is through the roof that people don't understand. He makes great basketball plays throughout the game that you think that he might not make. You know, so if I just had to round out a top three, it would be those three young guys. But the exciting part about Texas City is I can keep going. Grant Rowland is the only white kid. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not in football right now on the team. But you'll think he's been around us his whole life, because he calling me up, all these type of things. But just the way his game transcends, he's tough. He's tough as nails, man. I'm excited about the double double that he plans on averaging this year. Jaden Yancey. Jaden Yancey is a quiet assassin, that can shoot. He can shoot the skin off of it too, and he's about 6'3" now. He's gotten taller in July. So when he comes off the field as a strong safety, he's going to be able to shoot the ball too. Just that 10th grade group all together. I keep saying the same thing, but it's what I'm excited about. My pups together are going to be the ones that shock the world. We went to TABC. I had Lloyd, I had Lil B, and Johnson, who were two juniors and a senior at the time. And I had 7 ninth graders going to 10th grade. And we went 2-1, man, against 3 6A schools. Yeah. And so just what they've doing, the way they've soaked everything up so fast, I'm excited. We may be a year ahead than what I put us at. Now, again, the year 3 is going to be some problems, but we will at least compete this year to, kind of put it together for 3 or 4 quarters.
Man. I might have to come sit in the practice just one time.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gotta see it.
Yes, sir.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk about evaluating and building the roster, right? So my next question for you: when players try out, I want to make the team. What do you look for the most?
So, as a seasoned coach now, I'm the old man now, but as a seasoned coach, when you walk in the gym, I know whether you can play basketball or not. Unfortunately, we have formality things that we have to do, and follow certain rules and all this kind of stuff. But when you walk in the gym, I know whether you can play basketball. When I throw you the ball, I know whether or not you can play basketball. But at Texas City High School, what we do is we definitely do 2 things. Number one, we have a grading sheet. So you're scored on certain fundamentals through 10. Each coach has one: passing, dribbling, shooting, hustle, communication, defensive stance, defensive intensity, rebounding. You get scored on about 10 to 12 things. And each coach has one on each player, and we have a list, and we just score them as the tryouts go on. What I'm looking for is different levels to it. So, for example, I'm pro 9th grade. If you're a 9th grader at Texas City High School and you tell me you want to come play basketball, go get a physical and come. I'm going to put you in 8th period. Because as well as junior high and 9th grade, we don't know what kids are going to be.
Right.
Scottie Pippen was 5'9", 5'10", going into to college. And then he had this crazy growth spurt that came out of nowhere. We hear those stories all the time. Anthony Davis was a point guard. Right, was a point guard. Then you look up and now he's 6'11". So I don't believe in cutting freshmen at all. What I look for is character. And I'm going to help you with that character. I'm a man of velvet and I'm a man of steel. We're going to motivate. I'm gonna tell you did a great job. We're gonna celebrate small wins, but I'm also get on your butt when you do wrong. So if you're in that junior high stage, you're that 9th grade, You got your leash is a little longer than the older ones. With the older ones, it got to be a shock and awe. I'm uh, a year by year coach, and what I mean by that is I look at the needs of the program. So, for example, it's tough to make my varsity team this year. I just inherited that group last year that is just so talented. So you got to be a person that's 6'5", coming in, jumping out the gym to play on Texas City varsity team. I mean, it is what it is. If you
Right.
coming in beating the guards that we have now, then you special anyway. And we'll open you with welcome arms. But when I'm evaluating the older kids, you gotta show me that you can beat people on my roster already. That's what's in the back of my mind the whole time while trials is going on. Or plug and play. Now you walk in, you 6'6", we can always use the 6'6".
For sure.
You walk in, you picking people up 94, you're diving on the ball, you're high-fiving your teammates. I see you're not gonna be a cancer. We always need that. But with the younger group, a little bit longer leash. We have our card to where we're grading, but I'm looking for character more. With that older group, can you compete with the guys that I already have? Or are you going to slow our practice down? We use college style. We here with it. We high intensity for as long as we need to be. And so I don't need anybody slowing that down while we're in practice.
Woo. Hey, I need the schedule. Matter of fact, I need the fall ball.
I
Y'all
got
do
you.
the fall ball, right? Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I got it. I gotta get it, man. I'm gonna have to sit in
Yes, sir.
practice and watch because
Yes, sir.
especially me, I'm an aspiring coach. I'm in college right now, and I think I've talked to you about this
Yes, sir.
before, but I want to learn. I'm a sponge and I want to learn, take notes because I don't know everything. And I'm not gonna act like I do, but I'm definitely willing to learn from any and everyone that's willing to teach me
Yes,
and
sir.
show me. So I love it, man. I love it. So beyond talent, what intangibles or character traits are non-negotiable for you?
That's a great question. So for Texas City, we don't downplay teammates. Um, I don't like bullies, and I don't like um, negatives. We know a negative and a negative creates a positive, but not in the gym.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that in the gym. And so, you know, our non-negotiable. When I write my practice plan, here you go. Put this in your book. When I write my practice plan, and I hope aspiring coaches are writing practice plans. When I write my practice plans, I put down keys. And one of the first keys that I always put is that positive behavior is non-negotiable. It doesn't matter when we get into fifth period or we get after school or we're at the game. You have to have positive behavior towards your teammates. Going back to Romeo or Lil B or Javon or Lloyd. As guards, we inspire and encourage our bigs. As guards, we inspire and encourage our wings. So if I'm making a pass and they miss it, oh man, Javon, that did I throw it too hard? That's on me. I know dang on well I didn't throw it too hard. I know he just missed that layup. I know he just missed that shot. I know that. But I'm going to play the mind game with him because I need him to make that bucket the next time. I need him to catch the ball the next time. And so once that negative ball starts rolling, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's hard to get everybody back in the game. So one of our biggest non-negotiables is positive behavior. And the second one is high intensity. I listen. You got to be high intense to play for TC. I was just working out the freshmen today during eighth period, and we were working on defensive intensity. And I told him, I said, "You got to play hard here, TC. I'm gonna have to put you out the period.
Hmm.
You don't have no choice. That's another non-negotiable. You got to play hard. I just don't believe in it. In not playing hard. And I'll take care of the rest. Kids these days are going to have an attitude. Right? Kids these days are going to get in an altercation. Kids these days are going to smack their lips. They're going to walk off. They're going to mumble when they leave. That's fine. Again, I'm a man of velvet and a man of steel. I read your body language. I'm going to get on you when you do wrong in my time, but I'm also going to motivate you when you do right. So if I had to pick two things right off bat, number one, positive behavior. Again, I write that in my notes. You got to have that positive behavior. And number two, you got to be high intensity. And since you said not only basketball related, I truly believe in student before athlete. You got to handle your business down that hallway. Texas City basketball is not the place for you if you don't handle your business down the hallway. A little bit more about myself as we continue on. I'm Dr. Antarian Griffin, not Coach Antarian Griffin. I'm fine with Coach, but I earned my doctorate in educational leadership. Again, I had coaches telling me that I couldn't do nothing. I had a coach tell me, well, Antarian, you might need to go to the military. I don't know if you're smart enough to go to school. So I end up going to the school that his daughters went to and got my bachelor's degree. It's just, so I believe I'm a lifelong learner. I believe in education first, for sure. You can't do anything without no paperwork. You got to have paperwork.
Yes.
And so when you're in our program, you got to handle your business down the hallway, or it's going to be a problem. And I brag on that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that the rest of my coworkers know that if they call Coach Griffin, something gonna happen with the basketball team, because we're all about being student before athlete.
Put some respect on his name. I love it, Dr. Griffin. I
Yes,
love it.
sir.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Man, but I love that you said all of that, man. I really do. I like the fact that you're you're putting into the ninth graders, and it's just about not just having what you have now, but also investing in the generation that's behind, because that's going to eventually be next man up.
Yes, sir.
And when it comes to character and things like that, man, I think that makes a person, and I think it can make or break a person.
Yes, sir.
If you go around and you're somebody that's like a negative person, you like to fight all the time, and you like to cuss people out when it's unnecessary, just do a lot of unnecessary things. I think it dissolves you as a person.
Yes, sir.
And it makes people not want to be around you, talk to you, communicate with you in any kind of way. And it makes life hard for you. But when you have someone that's a humble young man, and they're growing, especially in high school, like you say, they're gonna smack their lips, they're gonna
Yes.
do all these things. But just as long as you understand where I'm coming from, and I can help you in some way, just a little touch, because sometimes, like I say, as small as a mustard seed, right?
Yes, sir.
If I can help you out in any kind of way, and it makes you a better man, not just as a person, but in your spirit.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm all for it. So I love it. I love it. I love it. But let's talk about community and culture, right? How important is it for your program to contribute to the Tech City community? And in what ways do you and the team try to do that?
Yes, another great question. So it's very, very important. I truly believe that if I can help raise great men, they'll turn into great citizens. A great citizen creates a great town. A great town creates a great city. Great city creates a great state. And this great state create a great United States, man. And so, I truly believe in that. And so we try to do things to where we're building character to make great men. For example, this year in October, we'll be a part of our homecoming parade. Where we're giving back to the community through candy and through information with our basketball team. Shout out to Coach Caldwell, our girls basketball coach. We're going to be partnering on that. Yeah. Also, in November, we'll be doing a turkey drive with it's a shelter in Galveston. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I have the president of our booster club has sent me the flyer with that, so we'll be giving back to that as well. We also go to Blocker, man. We do two events with Blocker. One where we have our we invite them up to the gym, and so they play a game at Texas City High School where they get a chance to get their name called out under the starting lights, under the orange and black lights that goes on if you've been to a Texas City game. And our boys are cheering them on during the game, making it a party, making them feel welcome and important. And we also go down. We were at the seventh grade championship this year. That eighth grade group is very good, by the way. When they were seventh grade, we went down as a team, watched their championship game, and rooted for them. Took pictures with them afterwards. Just trying to continue to build our relationship within our community. As a coaching staff, we go eat at certain places. We make sure we have our brand on, our TC basketball brand, to where everybody know that we're one family within Texas City and within TC ISD. So we try to do those small things, man. I think with the parade, as well as the the Thanksgiving drive that we're going to be a part of in November. I think that'll be a standout for our boys this year. We're working in the community.
You know what? I love it. And you know what? I might try to collab with you on that too. If I'm off and I can come out there, I think I'm gonna try to get a special shirt made, man. It's gonna have something to do with Tech City basketball and Clutch City Connect. If it's okay with
Yes,
TCISD, of
sir.
course.
No, we'll of course go through the right parameters, but I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem. We also do a joint prep rally, man. We go to the elementary schools around star testing time. Yeah, man. So that's real cool with all the sports. Us in football, softball was there, volleyball was there. We all come together with the cheerleaders, and man, we do a pep rally in the spring as well for all the surrounding elementary schools in TCISD.
Love it, love it, love it. Hey, we gonna talk. We gonna talk.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to ask you this: how do you want the Stingarees to be viewed by the people of Texas City?
Number one, guys with good character. You know, it's been Texas City has changed from my understanding historically,
Yes.
and we are considered an at-risk population,
Mhm.
at risk to everything, at risk to failure, at risk to violence. We're considered an at-risk population. And so with that comes a lot of things, and people judging you prior to coming to Texas City High School. And so, one of the things that I'm going to continue to strive for is great character, is good character. I want my boys to have those traits leading on to when they have their own family. So, the first thing when people look at us is that I want them to see that we are well disciplined and that we have great character. Those things are definitely important to me. That we're a country town, so that they're naturally are yes sir, no sir boys, yes ma'am, no ma'am boys. Also statistically, this group I have, a lot of them are two-parent homes. A lot of them are parents that are very successful. So that's kind of turning the corner too, to where I just provide an additional example of how things should look. So that plays a major part on it this year too. But just their character, man. I want people to say, man, that Texas City team, not only do they work hard, but they have a good character as well. We were at TABC, and we're playing in the gym, and we were the last game of the first night. And I told him, I said, look, we won at the buzzer, as a matter of fact. I said, look, when this buzzer go off, before y'all leave, make sure we clean up all of this area. And so, spick and span, it was spick and span. We got all the trash up from everybody that was prior to us. And one of the coordinators came to me and said, Coach, man, I appreciate that. You were the only team to do that in this gym today. So just those type of things, being representative of Texas City ISD, and just the Texas City area in a whole, representing us well.
Love it. Hey, love it, love it, love it. Like I say, if you ain't on the wave now, you better get on it quick. Cause hey, once the wave is gone,
Yeah.
ain't no jumping on the bandwagon.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
let's kind of get into a topic that I kind of centered not necessarily around me, but around a lot of people who are looking for a way in, right? And this is just talking about advice for aspiring head coaches, right? So, what advice would you give to coaches who are trying to become a head varsity basketball coach?
First thing is don't rush it. You said it earlier. Be a sponge. You take what you want and throw out what you don't. You can't be me and I can't be you. It's not genetically possible, right? And so it's the same thing with basketball. When I'm teaching this to kids, I use Kobe and Jordan. RIP to one of the greatest.
Sure.
With Kobe, he mimicked every move that Jordan did.
Yes,
We know
indeed.
this. He walked like him. He talked like him. He even wore the little leg sleeve like him. But when they asked him why he wore 24, he said because I wanted to one up the greatest. You feel me? So you don't have to you don't be just like that person. Be better than that person. But if number one, be a sponge, like I said. Number two, be patient. You got to be patient. That the time will come. Number three, you got to be in that area. And what I mean by that is, are you willing to take some risk? Are you willing to make some sacrifices? When I started at 18. I knew I didn't want to run anymore. So I didn't go. I was supposed to go to a junior college in Peoria, but I didn't want to run no more, man. I was tired of running. I was tired of running, man. So, I knew I wanted to be a coach. So I went to my coach and I asked him, I said, I think I want to coach basketball. He said, well, all right, I'll call down to the junior high and I'll get you down there. So at 18, a freshman at Louisiana Tech University, I was coaching 7th grade boys basketball at Ruston Junior High. But when I was down there, I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't getting paid. I didn't get paid in 8th grade. I didn't care about that. I was the first one there. I was the last one to leave. Fast forward, shout out to my boy, Brian Shelton, who is the head coach at Clear Falls High School right now. When I first got to Houston, nobody knew me. Then nobody cared that I won a state championship in Louisiana. That ain't got nothing to do with Texas. So when I first got out here, he gave me my first shot. It was during COVID. He needed a coach because his other ones were at football. And he said, look, I can't pay you, but I have no problem, with you coming to help. I run that juice, though, every day. I'm beating him there before the bell rings. I'm leaving when he leaving. I'm closing the gate when he closed the gate. I'm waiting on the kids. He felt so bad one day. He called me. He said, look, man, I got to find you some money. I said, Coach, don't worry about it. I love the sport. I did everything I could to help him propel, and we ended up winning district that year. Went undefeated in that Wall Trip district, in that Madison district. We went undefeated that year. And at the end of that year, and this is the inspiring part. You got to work hard. At the end of that year, he called me and he said, look, I'm going to Cliff Falls, but I'll put your name in the hat to be the head coach at Northside. And so me working for free, me working my butt off, got me my stride here in Houston, Texas as well. So number one, be a sponge. Be patient. Then number three, work your butt off. And then the last one, if I may, don't go from A to Z. What I mean by that is you can't you can't look at me on Tuesdays and Fridays and say, man, I can do what he do. No, sir. You didn't deal with the one player that you had to kick off because he was vaping in the bathroom that morning. You didn't deal with the 5 teachers that called you throughout the day because I had a student who didn't turn in a paper. You didn't deal with the eligibility part where you got to find that little 0.5 somewhere to get this kid eligible for this second 9 weeks. You didn't deal with mama because her son is the 13th player on the team, but I didn't play him on Tuesday night after a win. You don't see that part. So if you want to be a head coach, make sure you're looking at all of it.
Full picture. Because
it's not all cookies and cream. People don't see that I drive 55 minutes from Rosharon, where I have my beautiful wife and my 2 children, to pour into other kids. You don't see that. You don't see those sacrifices that you have to make as a head coach. So make sure you focus on that too. Don't try to skip the A and Z just because you want to look good on Tuesdays and Fridays. You want to be under them lights for that Texas City versus Galveston ball game. You got to realize that Coach Temple put that time in.
Yes, he did.
Right? He poured in the men. He poured in the boys to make them men. So you got to see it well-rounded, of what those legends did before us, for that. So be a sponge. You already headed in the right direction. When you said that, be patient, wait your turn, but then you got to work hard at it. Are you coming up at 6 a.m.? Just coach, I just wanted to be around the game. Are you at people practices? Coach, I just wanted to be around the game. And then lastly, just don't look at what we do on Tuesdays and Fridays, man. You got to look at the whole totality of what we do as a head coach.
Man, ooh-wee. Hey, for those of you, as well as myself, who are looking for it, that was beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, and that's something I'm definitely gonna hold near and dear to me. I'm taking notes. I'm taking mental notes, but I'm also gonna, once I upload the video, I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna actually write it down.
Yeah,
so that way I don't forget. So that way I can know that Dr. Griffin stated this, and man, I think it kind of goes along with paying your dues.
Yes,
Not
sir.
everybody's gonna get that first start off. Boom, you right there on as a varsity coach. You gotta make your strides, and you gotta pay your dues.
Yes, sir.
Um, I mean that it could even be from starting off in middle school.
Yes.
It's a bunch of different ways it goes, and not everyone's story is gonna be the same. That's something that you mentioned as well. So, I love it. I love it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So, what do you wish someone had told you before you took on the head coaching role?
Oh my goodness. Loaded question, man. That's a loaded. Well, and this is, I may rub a few people the wrong way, but I'll be honest, man. A public education coach don't make no money.
No, no.
Not compared to corporate. Not
Yeah.
not compared to what we do. Not for example, from October 28th through February, end of February, hopefully first week in March, we can make a little playoff run. TJay, I'll probably put in 10, 12 hours a day, if not more. Some days it'll be 14. If we're watching film, or if I'm meeting with the coaches, or if I'm staying back for individuals, or if I'm out scouting on a random Wednesday, we put in so much time, man. Nobody told us that we wasn't gonna make enough money for it. Again, I told you I came out the slum, so
Right.
that first check I got, I was excited anyway. But with a wife and two kids, who want the finer things in life, nobody tells you that you're not going to get your bang for your buck
Right.
when it comes to coaching. So that's the first thing, man. I wish somebody would have told me. Secondly, I was being hard-headed on. People did tell me, and this goes back to the inspiring coaching world too. Don't get certified in physical education. Don't get certified in physical education. Old coaches sit in physical education. Nobody's leaving physical education. You're not going to get a job in physical education. And I was told that many of times as a young coach, but I was so hard-headed, I didn't realize it. Now, I lucked up at 23. I did get my first PE job, because it just fell just right. Another story for another day. But don't get certified in physical education. Find something that you are great at and be certified in that. Reason being, because you're never going to get a job.
Right. Right.
They don't go anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wish somebody would have told me that. Man, that's a great question. What else, man? Don't jump at the first job you see. Don't jump at the first job you see. I've been a head coach maybe 6 different occasions, 5 different occasions, and a couple of them I shouldn't have taken. Don't, again, I was telling you, be patient. I wish somebody would have told me, hey, Coach Griffin, chill. Just wait. Just hold on. And they might have been hard-headed, but I wish somebody would have told me, don't jump at that first job I see.
It's crazy. I don't know if you know Coach Larry Murphy over at Central Middle School.
I do not. I do not.
He's a good dude, man. He consider him a mentor when I was playing, especially when I went to Lamarck and whatnot. He was a JV coach, and then he kind of transitioned away from that to just being an assistant. Then he went to Lamarck Middle School at the time, not Giles, but he went to Lamarck Middle School, the old Lamarck Middle School.
Nice, I like it.
Then he went to Central. If that's the right timeline, I think that's the right timeline. But he's at Central. And I remember him telling me, I seen him at McDonald's one time, me and was talking. He was like, man, Tyler, he was like, hey, if you go for it, please don't do physical education. I was like, why? It just seems like it's he was like, you ain't gonna find no jobs. It's gotta be true.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you. I just told a young coach that the other day. I say, hey, man, you need to switch the sped. Nah, coach, on. Hey, I'm telling you, coach, you'll never get a job with PE. All right, coach, I'm gonna listen to everything you're saying. All right, I appreciate that. Because don't do it. Yes, sir. I wish I'd have listened to that advice. Yes, sir.
Man, but that's crazy. So look, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I really do. Because you don't have to be saying none of this. You could just have somebody guessing. You can gatekeep, like the word that they like to throw out there. But you're sharing a lot of valuable and knowledgeable information, man. I think it's a blessing that you chose to do so. So we've come to the final part of the interview, right? So we're gonna talk about the closing and personal, right? So my last two questions, Doctor.
Yes,
You
sir.
got time?
Yes, sir.
What's the one thing most people don't know about you or your coaching style?
I was always the underdog. Uh, if you look up some of my family members, Sigario Gibson, they call him Teddy Gibson. He played the two at Arkansas with Joe Johnson and Gennaro Pargo when they won the SEC championship in '98. He ended up doing 22 years in France with 18 championships during that stretch. His little brother is Tony Gibson, who played with the great Tack Minor at LSU. Tony averaged about 27 a game at Panola Junior College. Antonio Meekin, Tiger Meekin, is probably the most successful cousin I have, who played at Louisiana Tech, and he played at Louisiana Tech, and he ended up playing in China for a while. As a matter of fact, he played in the G League the first year in the D League with Marcus Sloan. So I didn't have any of their ability at all. I had to touch a basketball every day. If I didn't touch a basketball every day, it was going to be a problem. And so, I always consider myself that underdog because I was always chasing their greatness. And from that, I take that to my coaching style. Right? I take that to my we play the Dickinsons of the world.
Yeah.
Where they're 5 times bigger than us. You know, Friendswood is immaculate. Our colony is immaculate. They have high programs. But I love to walk in there with my chest poked. Angleton. You
Yeah.
walk in Angleton, man, and I love to walk into these gyms with my chest poked out.
Angleton wasn't always
Listen.
like that. I don't mean to cut you
Oh,
off.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Angleton wasn't always like that. I seen the
Okay.
school last year. I was like, what it? Because when
Indeed.
I was at Lamarck from '08 to 2012, class 2012, my first 2 years there, they were in our district. Angleton was a small school. So where this big school came from, I don't know. But it's
Yeah.
here.
It's nice, man. It's nice. And so, I don't shy away from that or the competition. I'll play anybody anywhere. My vision for Texas City is for us to put on a real true Gulf Coast tournament where we invite Duncanville and we invite Dynamic Prep and New Wave and Legacy and all these different schools and come get this smoke in Texas City. And so that's my ultimate goal, to get to that point, because I've always had to be that underdog. I was never that guy because my family was. When we talk about basketball greatness in North Louisiana, my family is in those conversations. Oh, but when I started coaching though, now it's a whole different world, because it ain't pound for pound with talent. Now you got to use this. So now you got to come see me. So, one of the biggest things about me is being an underdog, man. And then the second thing is I truly love what I do to save kids. What I've noticed this past 3 weeks with the staff that Coach Evans has created, our athletic coordinator has created at Texas City Sports, is we all care for kids, man. And that's me. Again, didn't have a dad, didn't meet him till I was 19. I know him now, but it is what it is. And so, but what God has always done has put positive men in my life through coaching. Talking about my doctorate, which people did, I guess I could have saved that for the last two. That's why I went out and got it. I wanted to know why I made it out the hood, but others didn't. It was in the development of resilience. The definition of resilience is being able to overcome adversities. And that's me. Through and through. That's me. And so when I lean on my personal who I am, and I lean on my coaching style, all of that ties into me overcoming adversity, me developing and building resilience in young men that looks like me.
I love it. And man, look, I know you mentioned dynamic prep, and look,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. There's a school this year I want to see it so bad, but I don't know if it can happen. There is a school down here. I know you're gonna know who I'm talking about once I say this. That has been to the state tournament 2 years in a row. That I would love to see y'all play because that would be a very big community outreach. I mean, that's kind of going to the community thing, but I think that would like bring some thunder because man, it's been missing, and I know the girls can do it. I don't know about the boys, like I said, I don't know, but
No, I can take that on. I can take that on. First of all, shout out to Will Cox, man. You win 42 games. We got to put some respect on your name,
sure.
And so man, shout out to Will Cox and them grown men he had last year because they were grown men, man. Shout out to Will Cox, man, and what he was able to accomplish last year, man. I just talked to him the other day. We're peeling the skin back slowly. For example, we had an open gym run over the summer. We let the boys get up and down a little bit. Me and him talked to him after to kind of build that relationship up. We're going to ease in a scrimmage this year if it's approved. We're going to ease in a scrimmage this year if it's approved. We'll see. We got to wait and see if that paperwork go through.
Sure.
But me and him have a great relationship, man. I don't have any ill will against Coach. He has welcomed me with open arms here at Texas City. He was one of the first people to call me and congratulate me when I got the job, and I appreciate him for that. So no, there's no ill will among me and him. We're under the same district, and so we're trying. Like I tell everybody, just give me a chance.
For sure.
Anything that happened prior to me getting here, I wasn't here. Just give me a chance.
Right.
I'm all about that smoke. I'm all about rivalries. I'm all about battle of everything. That's why we do it, man. Why can't we be standing room only where the referee got to keep pushing you off that wall to get up under the basket?
Right.
I'm for all of that. Now, I'll tell you what would help it, TJay. I'll tell you what would help it.
Let me know.
The community. The community. And I'll tell you why. Not voicing opinions, but behaving themselves. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't see why we don't play. We
Absolutely.
can't. We got to be realistic about this.
Mm-hmm.
We've had altercations with other rivals in other sports. And we have to behave ourselves. And in that way, nobody would have a problem with it. We have to be realistic, and yeah, it is the reason why we don't play each other. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, to go back to it, man. Yes, we're working on it. Me and Coach are working on some things. They're trying to continue to peel it back, to where we're able to. Everybody's just able to see that fun rivalry, man. They just played volleyball the other day.
I know.
So hopefully, yeah, man, we working on it.
The girl basketball team, I'm like, man, we gotta get the ball. I understand the football thing. I absolutely understand it. When it comes to numbers, yes, but when it comes to numbers in basketball, that means nothing.
We working on it. He's a great guy, man. He's a great guy. He loves Lamar. We working on it.
Man, but you know what, man? As much as he loves Lamar, man, I gotta say, I think you love Texas City at the same rate, man.
Yeah.
You're pouring in and investing. I love everything that I've heard.
Yes, sir.
And I think Texas City has a very bright future. I will be at a couple games. I'll come and speak to you when I come.
Yes, sir.
And I know for certain, I'm not gonna be no stranger. So I'll definitely keep in contact with you. And with that brings my final question.
All right.
It's so good. I don't want to.
I appreciate that, man. I'm glad.
If you could lead the players and fans with one message, just one, heading into the season, what would it be?
Give us a chance. Give us a chance. We have to be realistic. With my pups, it's going to be some days where they look elite. But it's also going to be some days where they don't look good at all.
For sure.
We have to be realistic. I'm their third coach in 3 years.
Yes.
I'm sorry, 4 years. Because it's my second year. Yeah, I'm the third coach in 4 years at Texas City High School. And so we have to have realistic expectations. At the end of the day, they're children.
Yes.
They're children.
Yes.
Talk about me all you want. That's fine. I'm gonna come home to my beautiful wife and keep it moving. But
Sure.
at the end of the day, they're children. And so when you come into supporters, you're gonna see us work hard. You're gonna see us have a positive view on everything that we do. We're gonna high five. We're gonna help people up off the floor. We're gonna dive on the ball. But at the same time, just give us a chance. At the end of the day, it's still just a game. At the end of the day,
It's a children's game.
Yeah, it's a children's game at the end of the day. So on Tuesdays and Fridays, just give us a chance. Let us entertain you as best we can. But realize we're still a year ahead. Statistically, third year as head coaches, you should start seeing our trend of us building the program and being elite, depending on the talent, because you got to have Jims and Joes.
Right.
But Texas City has Jims and Joes right now. So per injury, long as we stay out of that injury bug, we're going to be a year ahead. So it's going to be some times you walk into the game and we're going to look amazing. Now, will we look that way against Dickinson High School while the majority of our basketball varsity boys are in football? Heck no. Catch us in district.
Right.
When we full package. And now I might be like, oh, okay, I see what he was saying. You got to have realistic expectations. So my final phrase, my final advice and my final ask for the Texas City community is just give us a chance, man. These kids are TC through and through. They love you guys. They want to put on a great show for you. They want to be a part of that elite group, as my boy Token them was. So we just give them a chance. Just give them a chance.
Hey, and chance given here. Chance
Appreciate
given here. And I'll scream it out to everybody that, everybody deserves a chance, man. Every school, I don't care what school it is gonna go through their bouts. Everyone's gonna have to go through their bouts, man. Just what it is.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it can be a drop off in talent. Sometimes you lose kids to transferring. I mean, look at what's going on now. 4 kids in this county alone at Friendswood, 1 at Friendswood, 2 at Clear Falls, and 1 at Clear Springs have transferred to prep schools. Sometimes that can make a big difference.
Most times, TJay.
Sir?
Most times.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bad situation, man. Good luck to all those boys, but I just hated what it does for the head coaches.
Right.
Because they pour so much into them.
Right. So
yes, sir.
That's and unfortunately I think that's gonna be a trend.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be it's even worse in Houston. Oh my goodness. I mean, I think they've had like 40 plus kids transfer to prep schools, man.
Yes, sir.
Or different schools in different states. So guys, that is it. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Clutch City Connect. I was joined by my very special guest, Coach Dr.
Yes, sir.
Adrian Griffin. Antarian Griffin. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm so sorry.
You good, baby.
But I was joined by my main man, and trust and believe me and him have talked on the side. You have any final words, anything you like to say, throw out there?
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to God, who's ahead of my life, who has guided me and given me these opportunities. What a blessing to be able to not do what I love, but to talk about it and to change kids' lives on a day-to-day basis. So, I just thank him for where he has brought me from to where I am today. And I appreciate you having me on your show today.
Not a problem. Amen to that, because without him, I don't know where I'd be.
You and me both. Man, y'all come check us out, man. Come to TC, man.
Y'all check out Texas City Hoops this season. These guys are on full go. They're ready to go, and they're ready to prove to the world they got it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's your boy TJay Anderson, and I'm joined by my main man, Coach Dr. Antarian Griffin.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Clutch City Connect, Clutch City Connect, Clutch City Connect. Yeah. Houston rockin' news, everything you need. know we keep it in check. Scores, interviews, and player stats, yo, we keep it in check. Subscribe to see what's next. It's Clutch City Connect.